Hey, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, Pajama Grandma with Pajama Grandma's painkillers, chronic painkillers prescriptions. What do I mean by chronic painkillers prescriptions? Well, I have been experiencing chronic pain and chronic illness since I was 21 years old. And actually earlier than that, if I'm honest with myself, I was sick on and off a lot when I was a child, from the time I was really little for pretty much my whole life. So it's really been like 58 years, not 37. But I like to not tell people how old I am. So I like to say I've only been experiencing it for 37 years. Now, I would love to say that I no longer experience any chronic pain or any chronic illness, but that would be a bold-faced lie, because even healthy people experience pain sometimes. You're not going to have all of the pain in your life magically disappear. Not possible. Because if all of the pain in our life magically disappeared, so would all of the other good things in our life. So would all the love, so would all the emotions, so would anything, because there would be no contrast. And a life without contrast would be pretty darn gray and pretty darn vanilla and pretty darn boring. So guess what? It's going to ebb and flow, but I am here to share with you the things that I've learned over the last 37 years of studying and really digging into and using myself as my own greatest science experiments to figure out what the heck would reduce my chronic pain so that I could live the life that I wanted to live, so I could create the life I always imagined for myself before I got chronically ill, before I got sick. Because you know what? When we first get sick or we first experience pain, we don't know it's going to become chronic. We don't know it's going to last for decades. We don't know it's going to last for years. We don't know. And so we all go through this journey as we're going through chronic pain and chronic illness. And I am here to make it a little easier for you because I know that it's possible. So what is today's prescription? Today's prescription is what else? What else do I need to do? A lot of times, at least early on when I first got sick, I thought all I had to do was go to the doctor, show up, keep doing what they told me to do, and that I would be fine. Because I grew up in the area believing that doctors are gods and medical people know everything, and of course they will fix me. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way for me. After 3 years of being bedridden and miserable and going through hundreds of different tests and procedures and being poked at and prodded and shot in the eye multiple times and in every other part of my body, the specialists all sort of determined at about the same time that they didn't know what was wrong with me. They didn't know what the root cause of it was. It didn't look like they were going to be able to figure it out given the capability of the medical field at the time, and that I was just going to have to live with the situation I was in. Well, the situation I was in really, really sucked. I was bedridden. I was 23 and a half, 24 years old. I was missing out on everything in my life. My friends had gone back to college and were finishing their careers and finishing their college education, starting their careers, and getting on with their life. And I was still years behind with my college and bedridden. The only time I got out of the house really was when my parents would take me to doctor appointments or tests. And it was not a very fun way to exist. And having the doctors tell me that that's the way I was going to be for the rest of my life. And unless, of course, there was some medical miracle and new discovery that could help me, which they weren't really certain of. You know, things are changing all the time, but we don't know if anything will come up that can help you or not. And at that point, I needed to ask myself, well, what else? What else is possible? Is this really going to be my life? And by asking that, I empowered myself to see other options. I was open now to other possibilities. And by asking what else, instead of, I'm getting like my sixth shot in my eye for the problems that were going on, the inflammation in my eye, instead of asking myself, why me? Why do I have to endure this? How much of this do I have to endure? I changed that question to, what else can I do? What else do I need to do to get better? What else do I need to do to get my life back on track? What else do I need to do to start getting rid of this chronic pain, getting rid of these chronic illnesses, and move myself in the direction I want to move and live the life that I always thought that I was destined to live and deserved to live? And that is when, by asking the questions, by being curious, by wondering what else is possible, by wondering what else I could do or that I needed to do, or I could look into or investigate or be curious about, asking the question, what else? And instead of thinking, what else do I need to endure? What else is possible? What else do I need to do to take an active role in my getting better? That was the prescription that I needed to actually begin getting better, to see improvement in my health, see improvement in my mobility, to be able to get out of bed and move on with my life. So today's prescription is ask yourself, what else? And not, what else do I have to put up with and endure to survive another day? Ask yourself, what else can I do? What else can I possibly do to get my health back, to get my pain under control, to start living the life that I deserve to live? And guess what? Whatever we ask ourselves, whatever question we pose, we will get an answer to. Whatever's asked is answered. Whatever is given is received. That's a little philosophical for me even. But by asking that question and asking it with the expectation of receiving an answer, you will receive an answer and you'll know what to do. We always know what to do. We just always tell ourselves we don't know what to do, but we always know what to do. If we ask ourselves, what else can I do? Then we'll know. Well, you could get online and Google this or research it on a search engine. You could ask another expert. You could call for a second opinion. You could ask a friend. You could have a different idea. You could think a different thought. You could have a different feeling about a current situation. The possibilities are infinite and endless in terms of what we can do. But so often when we're experiencing chronic pain and chronic illness, all we're thinking about, all we're focusing on is the things that we cannot do. And we forget to ask ourselves, what else? What else is possible? What else can I do? So today's prescription, ask yourself, what else can I do? What else is possible for me in this situation? And before you know it, your pain will be reduced and you will be living the life you deserve. That's it for today's prescription. Make it an awesome day, and I'll see you again soon with another chronic painkillers prescription. Bye.